So welcome again, and quite interesting day here. And we are having a continuous session on the business economics. And in our tagline of planet, grow it, and manage it. Which is a quite interesting topic that which brings most of the entrepreneurs within our space. We try to enlighten them on what we expect and maybe the best practices in terms of managing any business enterprises. And I've been very opportunist to have an interaction with the young entrepreneurs, those who are studying on the business entrepreneurship, both at the graduate and at master's level. And we were trying to explore and see what could be the hidden economics around managing a business. So our topic is planet, grow it, and manage it. So then we're saying that I have this opportunity for us to be able to look this one more deeply and start to understand what could be these hidden economics that which makes most of the businesses, they don't really survive. Because according to the statistics, we say that about 20% of the MSMEs, that's the medium, small, and medium enterprises, they all collapse at the second year. Quite shocking. And then we have about 40 to 50%. They don't survive after 5 years. And we know that in the country, especially in Kenya, that we rely over 90%. The country GDP heavily relies on the MSMEs, which is the future. For most of the problems that which we need to address, that's the youth unemployment, the payment of the debts, the physical markets, all of it rotates around the dynamics which you make the MSMEs grow. Now today, we are looking at what could be this the hidden economics, and what we need to understand around the medium enterprises. Hidden economics. And one, from the interaction with the most of the people that who handle the small and medium enterprises, it's like they don't fully understand the dynamics or maybe some of the basic ratios and the financial ratios that would govern any business. Like there is something that which is called the gross margin. And this is a measure of the revenues you generate. You raise the cost of goods. So that you see how much percentage of the business makes. And you'll find that most of the entrepreneurs, they lack the understanding of maybe this ratio of the gross margin. Because you'll find maybe, for example, maybe they're running a shop or maybe a manufacturing plant. They're not able to see the ratio of the revenue being generated. The cost of goods now, this minus how much you are paying for the raw materials, the operational cost, the capex, and everything, all of it included. Once you minus, you see what is my profit. And this is a very good and guiding factor for you to be able to understand how the business operates. So one is, I've said that one needs to understand the financial ratios. The financial ratios in managing the business. understand the financials, and that's just one. You see, there is net profit margin. There could be other ratios like net profit margin. There is a ratio of liquidity ratios, which one need to understand. There is those who have borrowed the funds. There is the debt service coverage ratios. But not really going to those jargon. The most important part is to fully understand what are the dynamics between these are revenue I'm generating, these are costs, and all the implicated costs that within from my own business. Because you'll find somebody is owning what you call a medium enterprise business. But you end up consuming the resources. You end up consuming the revenue from the business. Not fully understanding that this business, when you are setting it up, that you need probably to pay the rent. There is operations maybe for the utilities you have to pay. There is regulations which are required. There are salaries to pay. There is probably you need to replenish if there are goods or if there's a service. There is that cost that one needs to put it together. And once you start plowing maybe the resources from the business, it ends up being collapsing within the second year of what we are talking about. And then now the second important point is the lack of adequate funding. And in business, there is something that which we call the break-even point. And this one is normally guided because for you to operate in business, then it needs to have enough capital. You need to have enough resources for the business to be able to run. For example, if you are running maybe, for example, a shop, it needs to have enough capital, or maybe, for example, a pharmaceutical business. They need to have all the molecules or all the medicines and the drugs in place for it to be able to operate what we call optimally. If you operate a business which maybe lacks enough capital and funding, then there will be challenges across maybe the business lines. Then, number three, maybe I'll just put them in summary. Lack of skilled personnel, and this one can be geared towards lack of skilled personnel or maybe challenges in human capital. This remains a key challenge because you'll find, for example, what I've just talked about, the financial issues. You'll find a businessman coming in, or maybe, for example, like somebody says that I want to start maybe a business like maybe selling land and like. You just get into that business without fully understanding maybe what are the skills required, what are the skill sets. It could be IT, it could be legal, it could be financial, maybe skill, it could be marketing skills. You'll find most of these, the MSMEs, they don't put enough capital or maybe enough resources to be able to build on the enough skills that which can be able to spur maybe the business higher and better. Then you'll also find that maybe this is a failure from our education system, that you find most of the graduates that which maybe we are getting into the market currently, they also lack the basic skills to be able to spur the business maybe to the next level. You'll find somebody has a basic degree, but you'll find there are technical challenges that maybe for them to be able to address some of the challenges that which are gearing towards the medium and small enterprises. So this one remains a key challenge, and that which we need progressively to be able to address. And I like there are so many partners coming in, the financial institutions that which are giving the financial literacy classes. And detailing that all the entrepreneurs must come in the table and be able to learn maybe how the business is run. The number four is that maybe most of the business, there is what we call the business hostility environment. That notwithstanding, we know that maybe the government, maybe it needs to be deliberate and maybe create a very robust and a very exciting environment for the entrepreneurs to be able to survive in. What do I mean by that? Because you'll find like those people who want to start maybe a manufacturing plant in any area, you'll find that there is quite a stringent entry barriers at which maybe probably what we can call the hostile This one we call it hostile business environment. Hostile business environment. And that's why I'm saying that maybe the government, though it has really made maybe some tremendous maybe steps in trying to addressing these, but I'm just saying that maybe the government should be lighten some of the entry requirements for this one to be addressed. And I really appreciate some of the county government, like maybe the one which I'm familiar with what they're trying to do. Maybe like Muranga County, they're trying to build maybe like what you call maybe the single business permit, that maybe for anybody who wishes to start maybe a business enterprise. All of it maybe probably is being done in one. Once you have one single business permit, then you can be able to run the business maybe as you wish. Then the government should maybe enlighten this, even with issues to do with the taxation, lightening, maybe some of maybe the legal requirements, maybe for the business to be registered. Then the government needs to come in and be able to address maybe this kind of the challenges. The other challenge is that maybe lack of exposure to the market. To the market. What do I mean by this? That you'll find most of the entrepreneurs, especially in the country, those who are in agriculture, you'll find maybe there is this challenge for them to be able to get into, to know where do I market my produce. The young fellows, they may be coming, maybe, for example, with a certain kind of service, could be IT, maybe some are maybe coming up with something to do with the manufacturing, and maybe some good ideas. But where do they market their produce to? And where they can be able to help this, I've seen maybe the rich clothing, what we call the e-commerce, where we are creating a pool where you don't really need to hold most of maybe the goods in one area, the warehousing and the like. You cut costs significantly, and this can really help in terms of maybe exposing maybe the entrepreneurs to have a wider and ready markets for their produce. So the lack of markets and the exposure to the markets, that is also another critical aspect that which really hinders maybe the MSMEs to grow. Then maybe another point is that when it comes to the entrepreneurs, what do? They keep on, maybe what do we call, maybe lobbying. Let me just put it, the word lobbying. The word lobbying the business, or rather taking away, I wanted to put it maybe like the word law, because that one I can call it law, but it necessarily means that taking away the capital. From the business. So, and this one is a serial killer, because you'll find maybe jamaa ameomoka ndio anafanya kazi, but ukipata every weekend yeye ndiye anapiga sherehe kweli kweli. But you see that he's taking the money from the business. And let me tell you that the way you see entrepreneurs, they may be driving, they may be living a raffish lifestyle, they may be pushing maybe a very lucrative life, maybe to generate to see, but they really live a very stringent life in terms of trying to manage themselves. So what I mean is this, that one should avoid and maybe separate the business resources and from your own resources. And what we guide from the technical point of view is that pay yourself a salary. As you pay other employees, start with yourself and say, my salary is this, so that is part of the operational cost of this business. And maybe applying all this, then it can be able to help you and to be able to grow your enterprise in the future. So with this and more, then we can be able to plan well for our businesses, we can be able to grow our businesses, and we can be able to manage them better and be able to create a future that our young ones who are in school, the graduates which are coming from both the universities and the colleges, they can have a platform for them to get into. And then we can be able to grow our economy we grow our country, we grow our future. So thank you.